Today in the Boot Guide, we are looking at the MERRELL Work, the Moab Vertex Comp Toe. Now for a lot of you guys out there, you are used to wearing a very heavy-duty work boot. And for some reason, you guys have been asking me about what you should change into for the spring, summer, and fall, that you're looking for more lighter weight stuff, because you really do associate the winter months with having a big, heavy-duty leather boot on your foot that is not only waterproof, but insulated. So the one thing I can present to you is the MERRELL Vertex. Now, wore these boots for the last week, full week at work. I was extremely happy with them. The comfort is something that I am not used to. When I talk about wearing heavy duty boots, personally I wear heavy duty boots all the time. Lots of pull-on boots, lots of logger boots, and industrial boots like that. So when I put on this pair of MERRELLs, I was pleasantly surprised to see that it felt like a cushion. The whole thing is just cushioned, and for obvious reasons. The construction, the materials, and of course this new sole material that they are using. Alright, so the sole is called M Select. It is a super grippy sole, but more than that, what this sole is a spring for your foot. What do I mean by that? I mean all the layers that they added in, all the EVA layers, all the hard rubber layers, all the heat resistancy. Yeah, that's right. This thing is heat resistant. Now, I wouldn't say you go walking around in hot chips coming off of a mill, but standing on something hot for a matter of 30 to 45 seconds, I do not think you're going to have to worry about it melting, because it has a 500-degree temperature rating. So that is really something you don't see in soles like this. Most of the time you touch anything hot above 210 degrees and they just disintegrate to nothing. MERRELL has locked it down. Now it's just not that. They're slip resistant. They are tested for slip resistance on the Mark II test. So you're going to get better water shedding ability with this thing. You're also going to get more grip when you're moving from surface to surface. I say this a lot of guys probably don't move from surface to surface, but think of it this way. You're going from a rug with a wet boot to an enameled floor, to a tiled floor, back to a hardwood polyurethane floor. A sole like this with this type of pattern, with all those little suction cup type things, is going to offer you a lot more resistance on that floor. So that means you're going to get a lot more grip. At some point, you might start to think that it's going to be a little dangerous having that much grip, that you're going to lose your stride. But after a few days in this thing, I got to say, I did not lose my stride or my step or even the agility I normally have in a regular pair of work boots. In fact, I would have to say I probably became more agile, because now I got this lighter weight thing on my foot and my body could really perform the tasks that it needs to do, whatever those might be. All right, let's get to the upper on this thing. Waterproof, full grain leather where there is leather, a beautiful mesh, and the waterproofness is a membrane waterproof. It's the MERRELL Dries material that they use. I gotta say, it works. Got stuck in the rain 2 days in a row, downpour, standing outside for more than an hour. Feet were dry, rest of me soaking wet, no rain jacket, but my feet were dry. Now, I'm not used to having something that's so lightweight and so pliable on my foot. It's been a really long time since I wore a boot like this, so I was extremely impressed. I was also impressed with the fact that all I had to do was open these up, remove the laces, remove the insoles, and just get a fan blowing on them. 2 hours later, everything was completely dry, because none of these materials hold moisture. Even the leather that they're using sheds moisture away. So you're not going to be stuck with day after day having a soaking wet boot if you take the initial steps to dry them out. So now the boot is EH, and what makes it EH? Well, comp toe. plastic shank, and yeah, there is a shank in this boot, and there actually is a lip of what should be a heel. Though it's not a full 3/4 heel or full inch heel or 1/2 inch heel, you're probably only getting like 3/8 of a heel, 4/8 1/4 inch. But you've got a heel there. You got something to lock in and catch a rung. And at that heel, there is a shank, and you could feel it. Climbing in this thing, I was really impressed. I didn't feel like my foot was wrapping around the ladder rung. I felt like I was really getting a really good step on this. And that also impressed me. Not only the traction, but the fact that you do get support out of something that's so lightweight and just really is a gym shoe with a safety toe. All right, so now when you open this thing up and you look at the tongue, you're going to notice it's a gusseted tongue. That's how they're keeping it waterproof. That's where they can add the dries into it. But what's really, really intelligent is the way they use different materials for the gusset. They use a really nice lightweight polyester in order to create the triangles in the gusset. And the tongue folds around your foot extremely nice. So when you lace this thing up, whether it's tight or loose, it's always going to fall around your foot. All right, let's talk about size and fit. Out of the box, the Vertex, they felt a little short in my size. I got a 12 medium. They felt a little short only because it was brand new and there is lots of cushion inside there. And what am I talking about? This beautiful insole, this dual density insole. This is shoved inside there. This thing is pretty thick. So when you have your foot inside there, it's taking up a lot of space. And if you're like me, you're gonna wear heavy duty wool socks all the time until it's 90 degrees out. So you're taking up a lot of space inside a new boot. By the third day, this thing was already starting to shape, form, and move to the sections of my foot which are a little bit more bulbous than others, like around my big toe and stuff where I normally press out the sides. It just completely stretched and shaped and formed in only 3 days, and it stopped. The last 2 days, by Friday afternoon when I was walking around, I felt that it had really just taken on the shape of my foot and it wasn't getting any bigger. And I really liked that. So size and fit, the length seemed a little short, though they don't make a 12.5. I don't think I would go 13. I think I would just wait for this thing to kind of break down and shrink in. Now, if you can do half sizes, if you're fortunate enough to be like an 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, yeah, move around, try the different sizes out. If you're an 11.5, you might even want to move up to a 12. But if you get the chance to try them on with heavy socks and thin socks, because you might be surprised that with a thin sock, they fit like a glove. All right, so let's talk about a few of the things that I don't like, and there's only one thing that I don't like about these boots, and it's not the fact that they meet all the OSHA requirements. I love that. I just, it's OSHA, Sometimes they come on the job site, they really don't understand the job, they just want to be there to bust your balls. But it's these things. It's these eyelids, these polypropylene eyelids. Though they're sewn really deep, they are all the way down here where you see my finger. That is where they're finishing off, and there's 2 stitches, and they are bar tacked in, so they are pretty strong. But in the past, I've had things like this break on me, so this is one part that I'm weary about. Now, I have never seen a pair break on a Merrell. I've never had anybody complain, so if you guys have had that complaint, please comment below. But personally, I've never had it happen, but it's still one of those points on any boot or any shoe when they're using soft materials like this, I get a little weary. Now I understand it. Keeping this thing EH, comp toe, comp shank, no metal whatsoever, even the speed lace at the top is a thermal, high density, high impact plastic. You're still gonna have a problem at some point. It's just nature of the beast. Whether you're welding, well, if you're welding this thing, this is what you should be welding in. But if you're cutting or grinding, if you're doing some soldering, if you're a plumber, and you get a little solder on there, there's a chance that you might melt through that and you might break it. And once that happens, you're not gonna have anything to put a lace into. And that's one thing I don't like. But outside of everything else, the Moab Vertex waterproof mid is a super comfortable boot. And I can't really point out any other bad parts. Even the pull on the back. The part of a boot I always hate is actually really nice. It just collapses. It doesn't stop your pants. Your pants fall right over your work boot. Pretty damn nice, extremely comfortable. If you're looking for something lightweight for the summertime, for the fall, check them out. So that's the MERRELL Moab Vertex waterproof with a comp toe and a 6-inch boot. Hey, if you're currently wearing a pair of MERRELL work boots, not MERRELL outdoor boots, not MERRELL hiking boots, but the MERRELL work boots, please comment below and let guys know what you think about it. Remember, MERRELL Work has only been on the scene now for maybe 3 to 4 years, so they're still a new company. So if you've got any input for a guy who's thinking about picking up a pair of these, please comment below. Hey guys, please don't forget to swing by my Instagram account or my Facebook account, where when I get shoes like these MERRELLs, I'll shoot a little video, I'll shoot a little preview video so you guys know what's going on, what to look forward to in reviews, and you also get the first look at new stuff like this thing. So please swing by Instagram and Facebook. You can find the links below. Hey guys, if you're about to order a pair of these, if you're gonna make this your spring, summer, fall boot, but you got a few questions about the durability depending on your line of work, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. Message me on Instagram, show me what you're looking at, show me what you're thinking about, and just maybe we might be able to work something out, whether it's MERRELL or a different brand. Just feel free, shoot me over a message. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.